Identity Fraud, a game of jump scares. Okay, maybe this way. I am not too sure. What? Ah! A game of frustration. I think to the right is the. Wait, this is my same pink marker from the past 5 times I've been down here. Oh my god! And a game of friendship. Hey guys. We're all friends, right? None of you is the identity fraud, right? Right? Oh, somebody just died. That guy with the black hair stopped following us. Lady, I don't think he'll be following us anymore. Released on the 1st of January 2016, it features you, yes you are the playable character, doing different mazes, 3 different mazes and puzzles as different types of monsters try and chase you down and kill you. When you first join the game, you are greeted with the title screen, a little image of one of the 3 mazes, and some options here. Now definitely we're going to click play, but if you want to do any of these, this is just normal things. Eventually I will start doing a video on the hard difficulty. You can also just have the different soundtrack. There isn't any other available option for that. You also have the shop where you can buy these different things called radars, which help you see where the monsters are. And then there's extras, which there's nothing there right now, but we're going to go ahead and click play. When you first go into the game, it says press any key to continue or skip. So let's just press any key. You can also just click. So it says your character's name, and I'm Skinny Cocoa Chicken, so I am Skinny Cocoa Chicken. I have a doctor. My doctor helps me. I go to my doctor. People watch me. People watch me. As you skim through the dialogue, you begin to find out that your character goes to a doctor, and you don't really know why, but you find out that you haven't been sleeping, and you begin to feel very, very strange. You begin to think that your doctor has somehow poisoned you, and your doctor begins to see that you are not looking very well. So he calls for help, and you just get very paranoid because people are all over the place. They're watching you, and then you think for a fact that he must have poisoned you. After a very unsettling introduction, you are put into the first maze. You can pretty much spawn everywhere, as you can see on the map here. And there really isn't any specific place where you're meant to spawn. You can kind of spawn anywhere, like I just said. You'll probably find yourself with a bunch of different hallways you can go through, and I'm going to be showing you some quick tips and tricks on how to get through the first maze in Identity Fraud. Number 1, you don't have to buy this radar. I mean, it is very helpful, but basically what it means is if the entire screen is green, which it isn't right now, but if it is, that means that the monsters are the farthest away from you. If it's a green circle like this, that means that they're pretty close to you. Now it's a yellow circle, which means that Stan, one of the monsters, is very close. If it goes to the red circle, well, they're pretty much right behind you. Stan is one of the many monsters in this game. I mean, there honestly aren't that many, but he's one of the monsters in the game. Pretty much all he does is he'll teleport all around, and he is in all 3 mazes, though he really isn't in maze 3 that much. Pretty much what he does, I mean, Stan is pretty easy to see. He sneaks behind walls, he teleports through walls, and he'll sneak behind you. So pretty much who he is, he's a black figure with red eyes, and he'll slowly follow you. So if you're looking at Stan in a hallway, and you turn around and then you turn back, he'll slowly inch closer to you if he is targeting you. If you're with multiple people, he might be targeting someone else. And if you stay looking away from him and he's behind you for a long time and then you look back, he will jump scare you and kill you if you don't move away from him within like the next 2.5 seconds. And he is a very scary person because he is everywhere. So whenever you first spawn in, there really is no guide on how you get to the location that you need to go to. Basically, as you can see on the map, there is a mirror at the top middle that you need to get to, and there honestly isn't really a guide on how to get there. There is one little trick where you can keep killing yourself and respawning by just resetting like this. Until you get kind of like a corner area, and then if you see like multiple hallways, take the shorter one, and hopefully the mirror might be around there. That's the only trick that people really know on how to possibly get to the mirror. After probably walking around endlessly for hours upon hours, even if that's true or not, you'll eventually hopefully come up on this mirror. And this is very good. You want to find the mirror. And the reason for this is that you're going to want to make a right here, and then hold on to the left wall like it's your dear life. Make every left turn that you can, and you'll be there in no time. The next monster we are going to be talking about is Fraud himself. Identity Fraud is the name of the game. Pretty much what Fraud is, he will kill you and he'll take your body and walk around as you all around through the mazes. Pretty much what he is he'll pretty much spawn in the game as anybody, and then he'll walk around like he actually like has movements that make it seem like he's an actual person. But there is a trick to make sure that you don't get caught by Fraud, because whenever you do get caught by Fraud, well, this happens. Yes, I'm sure you probably don't want that to happen, especially if you're at the very end of the map. So what you can do and try and get away from him before he runs at you is like Fraud will wave at you if he's targeting you, and if you see someone wave at you, just even if they are a real person, just get the heck out of there and run as fast as you can, because he will start chasing after you as fast as possible, and he won't stop until you die, or unless you get very, very far away from him, which is possible to do. You can get away from Fraud, but it's very hard to do. After wandering around for a little bit longer, you'll see the button over there, and you'll probably there's my friend Pescoat. You'll probably want to definitely take the left, because there is a gate there. Keep trying to make lefts, and you'll eventually get there. Now definitely don't make a left here, that's for sure. You want to make a full straight forward here. So yeah, if the button is red, that means that someone has recently used it, and I think there is a cooldown of about 5 minutes or so. There is Ralph. We better go right now. So Ralph is probably one of the more scarier monsters in the game. As you can see here on the little thingy right here, Ralph, mass murderer, and that's what he is. He will wander around on the first and the second maze with his long sword and his armor that he has on, and he's very scary. He has like this black armor, like I said, and white eyes. It's like, and his sword is just so massive, which is probably the scariest part. So what he'll do, he'll walk around like the maze, and he is faster than you, but whenever you turn corners, he is slower on turning corners, and his AI might get a bit screwed up, so that is a good chance to try and get away from him, because he will eventually target a newer or a closer person if you are far away from him. So yeah, continue on onto the next zone, which is maze number 2. In the second maze, you'll see this little yellow orb that'll probably follow you around. Don't go near it, because one of the scary monsters that appears in this one, besides Ralph and Stan, which are the other two, is Alice, and she'll come out of that little orb, and she'll kill you. So don't follow it. So pretty much Alice, what she is, she kind of lives in this little floating orb, this yellow orb, as you saw there. And if you follow her for a couple of seconds or maybe a minute or two, she'll eventually come out of the orb and kill you. So don't follow her. But she will follow you for a little bit, but she eventually will just go a different way and mind her own business. And she's probably one of the monsters that you don't really need to care about, because she doesn't really do anything to you unless you do follow her. But yeah, she is a pretty scary person. She looks like she's kind of like swampy looking. She doesn't really have a face, I don't think. And yeah, she has like tethered clothing. It's all like screwed up and whatever. But yeah. Basically, what you want to do this entire maze is the easiest maze and also pretty much the shortest. But pretty much you just want to hug onto the right wall, make all the right turns you can, and then you'll eventually end up at your the gate. Hopefully sooner or later you will find the button, and this is very good. And whenever you find this button, you're going to want to press it, and all you have to do is type this number in chat, so 562 or 92. So it'll always be a new number every time, and now we are on to the third and final maze. Now this maze is one of the easier ones, so the only monster you have to worry about in here is James, and I mean, you also have to kind of worry about Stan, but he like really never shows up. It's very rare for him to appear in the third maze. But pretty much what James is, he's like a big, like, he's actually right here. So he's the scare master. He has a big disco ball on his head, and he wears a suit and tie. And pretty much whenever he walks around the halls on the third maze, and whenever he sees you, he'll like dart towards you with his disco head lighting up in all red. And what you want to do to not die is don't move at all. When he sees you, stand perfectly still, and he'll turn back to a normal, just a plain black head. And he'll just go about his day and walk past you. And he might linger in the hall a little bit, but he'll eventually turn onto a new hall, and you can continue on your day. So pretty much he's pretty easy to avoid. But yeah, definitely look out for him, because he does do a lot of damage whenever you don't. Or whenever you do move, whenever you're around him. Very near to the sound of a radio playing, and that is where you want to go. So just keep following the directions, or the map or whatever that I showed you, and you'll end up there in no time. Now this is James, and my friend there just got obliterated by him because he was moving. Don't move, or else you'll probably die by him. Yeah, I'm gonna tell him don't move. And right in front of me here is the radio, and of course James is right by it. Of course. Because he has to be. Oh, hello guys. Hey guys. Okay, James be really annoying. Now, this is probably the hardest puzzle out of them all, and is very hard to explain because it's Morse code of what you're listening to here. So I'm gonna try and put this as easily as I can. So what you see on screen now is a little, kind of like a chart, and every time you hear like a single beep that goes like beep, and then sometimes there's ones that go beep that are kind of like longer, and you want to go on this chart there. You can like pause the video on it, and you have to try and figure out what it's saying. So each number or letter you'll have to put together, and then you type it in chat, and the door will open over there. I tried to put that as easy as possible, so yeah, good luck. After you hopefully have completed the Morse code, which is very hard, you'll end up in the final room, the hallway where nothing bad will ever happen to you here. It saves your progress, and you're on to the hardest challenge of all, the hex frickin' decoder, which takes forever to do. Alright, just look up a hex decoder online and type in these things. Eventually, when you put all the numbers on the bottom in there, it'll say this message. It will either say replace all 8s with a 4, or it will say something else, because it's always random with different servers. But for me, it is replace all 8s with a 4. What you're going to want to do is replace all 8s with a 4. So you're going to want to do 3, 9, 4, 9, 2, 6, 3, and then the final boss awaits. Immediately go around and try and stay towards the back. Try and run into something and go right behind it. You're not going to be able to see it because there's no lights, but whenever the door closes, make sure you get behind a pillar, just like this. And it'll say the last hurdle, right there. Now stay behind the pillar, and what you're going to want to do, you have a rocket launcher, peek out just barely, because he's able to hit you very, very close like that. Now, if he wasn't aiming towards somebody else over there, like he's aiming at me now, so you have to be very, very careful with your rocket launcher. Barely stick out, and you'll be able to hit him. You're gonna do barely any damage to him, but that is okay. That's what you want. You're just gonna spam click your rocket launcher and stand behind the pillars for as long as it takes until he gets to his second stage. And just like that, boys, he's gonna go on to his second stage. Get on the platform here, because lava will soon rise, and avoid his bombs that he throws. This part is very easy to do. Just if you're on mobile, it might be a bit harder, not gonna lie. He is somehow killing me, I guess from the lag. But don't worry, that's just lag for you. He's currently aiming for my friend there, so I guess that's a good thing. But just keep trying to kill him, and just shoot him with the rocket launchers. You don't need to aim for like the little white thing on his heart or whatever. It really doesn't do anything shooting him. Just it does the same really. But he'll eventually do something else as well. Now we're on to his hardest stage. He throws 4 bombs instead of just 1. You have to narrowly dodge these. It's kind of hard to do sometimes, but it is pretty easy if you're on a PC. I know this game is kind of have advantages for PC players and not for mobile, but it is still possible on mobile. It's just a little bit harder because you have to move around the little circle pad or whatever that is. So yeah, but we're almost done killing him here and should be finished. Alright, boys, and just like this, he is down. Just like that, boys. And now we're on to the title screen. Alright, but yeah, so anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. This took a little bit of time to make, and it was pretty cool. I'm just gonna write POG in the chat. But yeah, so pretty cool end title screen here, and it actually kicks you from the game. Just cause, like, I don't know, for some reason it just does that, and it says it was fun while it lasted. So yeah, if you want me to do another video on the sequel of the game, because there's a sequel, I can definitely do that. So yeah,